I'm very excited for this one. We asked you, the FM Scout viewer, on our social media pages to send in the best new gen players that you've had spawn in your game in FM23. And it looks like we've received some gems, and we'll be rating them on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 being, average Wonderkid, 10 being the next Pele, the next Maradona. And I want you guys to play along at home. If you just want to play while watching, great. If you want to comment your scores down below, that would be awesome. This is something a little bit different on the channel too, so if you do enjoy it, please go ahead, smash that like button. Maybe we can make a follow-up to it, and make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Now let's get into the first Wonderkid sent in. And we are off to a flying start. Now obviously everyone's going to have their own preferences, but for me this is an unreal new gen player. You might think it's not a new gen because he's got a face in the game, but that is like a mod that you can get where you get a real life generated face for your players. But this looks like an elite talent. There's actually a few Wonderkids, I believe, from this Leverkusen save that was sent in. A 23-year-old Dutch centre-back who is apparently a 5-star ball-playing defender at his club, and he has some unreal attributes. The reason that I love him straight away is he has 20 jumping reach and he's 6'7". This guy is going to score for fun from corners. He's also pretty quick as well. He's got great tackling ability, nice passing. Even his work rate looks unreal. I did have a look just to check to make sure no one's got the editor in their saves here, and maybe they found a way to hide it, but we're going to try and trust all the viewers here that they are sending in legitimate players. But this guy looks awesome. Even 17 long throws as well. It looks like he spent most of his career at PSV without really being noticed. He's only been picked up recently by this guy at Leverkusen, but he's an unreal centre-back. And I'm going to give him a very early 8 out of 10, which is quite high, I know. You might think it should be higher, potentially, some of you. But even though I love this centre-back, I can't be going out and giving 10s already. If any of these images that have been sent in are a bit blurry, I do apologise. But we're only 2 players in out of our 15, and this could already be one of the best that we see. I can't see too many topping this. It's a Brazilian named Thiago who plays as a number 10 for Newcastle and is classed as a 5-star player. At 28, he's valued at about £100 million, and he has some unreal attributes, guys. I mean, physically, he's very nicely balanced. He's got a lot going for him, but he's got 20 flair, 16 off the ball work, anticipation, composure, decision-making of the highest level, great passing, vision and technique. Alongside that, he's got great long shots, free kick taking, first touch, incredible finishing and dribbling for a player in his position. You can already imagine the free kicks this kind of guy would score with the long shots and the free kick ability that he's got. He's a great finisher too. I think Shadow Striker would be an unreal role for this guy. Thiago, I'm going to give him a 9. This is an interesting one. This is exactly what we want. Players from different positions, and we have a goalkeeper by the name of Arildo Alves Barbosa. We're in 2030 here. He is the Brazilian international goalkeeper, and he's playing for Farsley Celtic of all clubs, but he does look like a great talent. You can see why Chelsea and Barca are interested. Goalkeepers don't tend to grow until later on in their career, yet at the age of 20, this guy's already considered good enough for his national team and has great attributes all around. 16 kicking, 16 passing, 16 reflexes. This is like an Edison reborn, really. Classed as one of the best players at his club. He's got so much going for him. It's very hard to rate goalkeepers, but this guy is one of the best examples of a Wonderkid goalkeeper. You'll see, I'm sure. We're going to give him a 7.5 out of 10. The reason I'm not giving him any higher than that is he is a goalkeeper and he has got number 10 on the back of his shirt, which is absolutely blasphemous. Next we go back to the Leverkusen save that we looked at earlier to look at a Y player by the name of Yannick Voifen. 25 years of age, 50 caps for Germany, valued at over £100 million. He's got some great attributes for a Y player. Looks like inverted winger is his position. 17 dribbling, 16 crossing, passing technique, finishing ability as well. The first touch is incredible, and 20 agility as well. Extremely composed, great decision making and anticipation. Some nice player traits as well. Wanted by Liverpool and Milan. Is he world class? I'm not too sure. He's classed as an elite winger here at 25. This Leverkusen save has got a lot of great Wonderkids in it, but I'm going to rank him slightly lower than the centre-back we looked at earlier. Voifen here is going to get a 7 out of 10 for me. Let's move on to our next one. We've got a centre-back playing for Palermo here who gets bonus points from being from an unlikely nation in Romania. Not the most unlikely, of course, to have a Wonderkid from, but not the most common either. A 22-year-old centre-back who's valued at over £100 million. Great attributes all around, but for me, he's not quite as good as the one from Leverkusen that we did look at earlier. Great positioning, tackling, some nice physical attributes as well. Very concentrated, with great reading of the game, with anticipation and positioning. 6'1", maybe a bit Thiago Silva-esque in the way that he reads the game here. Going to give Alan Marin here a 6 out of 10. Very harsh because he would be a great centre-back for any club, but comparison to some of the others, he'll have to be a little bit lower for me. Going back to the Newcastle save that we looked at earlier, there's a few Wonderkids that we got sent in from that save, and this guy is called Connor Marsh. He is a Scottish striker who joined from Rangers and has spent a few years here now at Newcastle by the looks of it. 50 goals in 59 Scottish appearances. This striker is the real deal. Either-footed, very quick, 6 foot tall, good in the air as well, nice pace and agility, insane finishing, first touch and dribbling ability, alongside great passing and technique. The off-the-ball work is there, the vision is there, especially being either-footed as well. This striker is just, you know, chef's kiss of a player. How he got 44 caps for the under-21s of Scotland before being called up to the first team, I don't know. Bear in mind we are in 2040 here, so we're many years into the future, so it's much more likely there will be some good regen Wonderkids in this guy's save. Maybe that's how he's got so many of them. But yes, Connor Marsh, unreal striker, everything you'd want in one. I'm going to give him a 9 out of 10. I think he's the best we've seen so far. Maybe it's a bit of striker bias here, but he would score so many goals, and it looks like he's been doing exactly that for Newcastle. Next, we've got a 23-year-old Chilean striker by the name of Manuel Guete. He's playing for Tatran Preslov, which is a team I don't recognise personally. Just to point out as well, this save is so many years in the future, it's crazy. I don't quite know how he got there. But for a striker, is he good? Yes. Is he world class? Not too sure, purely on the fact that he scored 8 goals in 23 for Chile, but also his attributes just maybe aren't the world's best. They're good, but they're not world-class striker kind of attributes. I love his leadership at 16, 17 flair, 19 bravery, a very mentally strong striker clearly, with great physical attributes as well, very quick. Maybe this guy is winning me over actually. His finishing does let him down a little bit, but do you really need that much finishing when all the other attributes are so good? 10 concentration is a bit weak, 8 positioning too, 10 work rate. I'm not too sure about him. He's got some things that I really like and some things that I don't. And for that reason, maybe a harsh rating, but I'm going to give him a 6.5 out of 10. This is my kind of striker though, 2032. We have Manuel Sola, who can play as an attacking midfielder or a striker. 21 goals in 24 Spain appearances, classed as a 5-star player at Dinamo Zagreb and valued at over 150 million euros. An elite striker with great physical attributes, very tall as well, strong, great jumping reach, the heading is amazing as well. Passing, vision, technique, finishing, first touch. Oh, okay, this guy is my ideal striker. Everything is great on this player. He's even got the leadership that we saw earlier. Great passing ability, decision-making, composure, anticipation, first touch, finishing, dribbling. This guy is insane. He might be my favourite yet. I love a big striker, and I think this guy fits the bill. I'd use him as a complete forward, almost certainly. How many goals has he scored? 122 in 126 for Dinamo Zagreb. He's one of world football's global superstars at the age of 24. A phenomenal talent. I'm a big fan of this one. I'm going to give him the best score yet, I think, 9.5 out of 10. Apparently Man U are interested in him here, and you could see why. Another striker that is right up my street, 6'4", Costa Rican forward, Edgar Gonzalez. He's in the Palermo save too. He's 6'4", yet he is very quick with great pace, acceleration and agility, great off the ball work rate, anticipation. This one's already looking like a very strong option, particularly being from Costa Rica too. The obscure nation does sway me a little bit in having a higher rating for the player. His technicals are also looking very strong. Is he as good as a player we just looked at? I'm going to argue no. I'm going to give him an 8.5 out of 10. Remember, if you are playing along at home, to let me know in the comments the scores you're giving, and make sure you smash the like button if you are enjoying. This is something very different for us on the channel, but we are trying to experiment a little bit towards the end of FM23 to see if this is the kind of content you guys enjoy. So let us know. But let's move on and keep making our way through this list. And we've still got 2 more players to look at from that Newcastle save, and this guy is called Dusan Babic, a 26-year-old Serbian central midfielder. Now there's a lot going for this guy. It's suggesting we play him as a deep line playmaker, which is a role I don't really enjoy in FM, and he is definitely built for that role. And for that reason I might score him down a little bit, but there's something that tips me over the edge in terms of giving him a good rating, and that is this guy's physicals. I mean, he's got everything at 15 or higher other than jumping reach. Everything else is 16s, 17s, even 19s for balance and agility. He's got 19 vision, his passing and technique are great too, 20 determination, composed, brave and anticipates the game well with great first touch. The one thing that worries me a little bit is he is not a very good finisher and his dribbling isn't great, which you don't need to be a deep line playmaker, but it does kind of shoehorn him in to having to play that role really, or some kind of playmaking role. I think as a Mazzala or a central midfielder on the attack duty, he just wouldn't get too many because of his finishing. I mean, those physicals and that work rate would allow him to bomb up and down between the boxes, but you can see he's never really been a prolific goal scorer, and I would love him to be one with those attributes. It's a personal thing for me of just not really getting on too well with deep line playmakers, so I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10. But for someone else, that could definitely be a little bit higher. Our final trip to the Leverkusen save that we saw earlier, it brings us to a Spanish left back by the name of Elliot. I wanted to include a fullback in here, and he is considered a 4.5-star player at his club, and he's got some great attributes. Obviously, a fullback is never going to blow anyone away. Maybe not as much as, say, a striker would, and he's not got great crossing or dribbling. His passing's not insane either. But he is a mentality monster with 19 work rate, 18 anticipation, 19 decision making, 18 concentration, good tackling, technique, and teamwork as well as positioning. This guy is going to defend for his life. He's easily going to be the best left back in this man's save, just in general, not just in his club, but in the whole world with those kind of defensive attributes. This guy's a workhorse with great mentality for only a 23-year-old, already 37 international appearances, and I'm sure he'll get more. For me, he's going to get a 7.5 out of 10. 4 players left to go now, and we take our final trip to that Newcastle save to look at Lars Jensen Killerich, a Danish 23-year-old wide player, and his best role supposedly is advanced playmaker. Now, he's an insane passer with great passing technique and vision. The finishing is there, the first touch is there. I'd be using him in central midfield where he's also natural as a central midfielder on the attack duty, or a Mezzala potentially on the attack duty as well. Great mental attributes, and his physicals are off the charts as well. Either footed with nice pace, strength, natural fitness, agility, and balance. A lot going for this guy. Valued at over £100 million at 23 years of age. A bright future for this Newcastle team for sure, with some of the players that this guy has got. He's scored some goals in the past as well. This is my kind of central midfielder, and for that reason, we're going to give him an 8.5 out of 10. We've had no 1s, 2s, 3s, 4s, or 5s in this video, but that is because you guys are sending your best new gens, and it'd be a bit strange if you were sending in players that got a 1 rating, let's be honest. We head over to Barcelona for this player by the name of Arnold Machica, who is an English goal scorer with 14 goals in 11 appearances for the national team at only the age of 20. Valued at 130 million euros. He scored 65 goals in 68 games in 3 years for Barcelona, now wanted by PSG. Is he as good as some other strikers we looked at? Potentially not, but he's 20. He's a leader with great flair, good work rate, and those physical attributes are going to make him an absolute monster in the in-game engine. The pace, the agility, the acceleration, combined with the finishing, the composure. If his decision-making was a little bit higher, he'd be borderline one of the best players we've looked at. But because some of his attributes are a little bit weak, I'm going to give him a 7.5 out of 10. Now, this one's very interesting because all the attributes are in a different language, and I'm not quite sure what is what. I mean, I'm pretty certain this is aggression up here, but everything else looks a little bit different. Of course, everything is in alphabetical order, so if the names for certain attributes are different, then things are going to shift around here. I'm not too sure what attribute is what. So it's very hard to judge this 19-year-old Danish striker playing for Wrexham, but it looks like he scored 8 goals in 17 international appearances. Everything is pretty much a bright green, so he does look like he's got all the attributes you'd need to be a good striker, but because I can't judge him very well, we're just going to give him a solid 7 out of 10. If anyone can translate, let me know. Is this guy way better than I've given him credit for, or is he actually pretty rubbish? And finally, we finish off with a Brazilian 21-year-old by the name of Felipe, going back to that Palermo save. This guy is number 7 for his club. An inside forward coming in off that left-hand flank. He's got nice finishing, great acceleration, agility, balance, and pace. Some strong mental attributes to go along with it as well. Doesn't look to be too prolific. 1 goal in 3 appearances for Brazil, 18 goals in 58 appearances for Palermo. Is he world class? I'm not too sure just yet. He's definitely got the potential to get there. With a little bit more growth, you could definitely see that, but I'm going to give Felipe here a 7 out of 10. A lot of players in that 6, 7, 8 range here today, but we did have some clear favourites. Let me know your scores and your favourites in the comments down below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.